AI-induced psychosis. Now, this is the idea of humans and the AI sort of hallucinating together and making the situation much worse. Nikki, we have done an episode of this podcast where
Yes.
we've talked about your psychosis. So I'm going to hand this over to you to really explain the story and what the moral dilemma is.
Well, it's so fascinating because AI psychosis is a trending topic across the internet. But AI psychosis is a kind of media term, not a medical term. I think it's the most important thing to say first. It's been invented by the media to describe a situation where exactly what you're saying, humans that are not feeling very well are putting information into chatbots, and then the chatbot's reaction is sending them into psychosis. Now, at the beginning of this, what we thought was that people that were already predisposed to psychosis or might be in the early stages of it were having their psychosis escalated by interactions with chatbots. But actually, there's now 7 cases being filed in America against OpenAI, which owns ChatGPT. And the cases, very clearly, because I've been reading them this week, show instances of young people and adults who have no mental health ill history prior to interaction with the GPT chatbot going into psychosis as a result of their interactions. And that's to do with how ChatGPT is designed. It's designed to make you very reliant on it emotionally. It's designed to be sycophantic. And the hallucinations, like you say, that's something called technological folie à deux, which is a term that psychologists will know all about. It's when 2 people join in on the same delusion. That is happening more and more and more. And what was really sad from these particular cases that are filed against ChatGPT in California is that 3 out of those people died, committed suicide after having these interactions. It is extremely worrying. And I certainly don't use ChatGPT for hardly anything at all. I can't do as someone that's been a psychosis sufferer. That would be madness. It's kind of akin to a drug addict saying, oh, just use cocaine at the weekend. It's like, I just really see a massive problem with the technology here.
You're scaring me because I use ChatGPT for everything. Like last night, like we were having trouble with one of our kids won't go to sleep, and I was
Oh, yeah.
literally going through ChatGPT. Oh well, we try and put it to bed at this time. What should we do? Oh, she doesn't like that. And working through this whole problem, and I've done that with medical issues. I mean, my other half has said to me, if I could put ChatGPT into a robot, I would leave you for them because she does talk through stuff with AI and stuff like that. Let's just dial back a second though. Can you just explain for anyone that may not know? Because I think it's one of those things that needs to find, like, what is psychosis?
Yes, good point. So psychosis is when you have delusions and beliefs and hallucinations that are not real. So psychosis is considered a break from reality. It's a point at which your thinking becomes confused and you are not connected with what is actually happening. You are paranoid, and yeah, it's pretty much that. It's considered the kind of worst, most severe mental health experience you can have as a human, really.
So, playing this out and what this might look like. So say if you sort of felt you were being followed, which might be a start of a psychotic episode, and then
Yeah.
you were to ask ChatGPT for help. Is this the idea that ChatGPT would not say, maybe you're having a psychotic episode, that's very unlikely. It would start telling you, well, look, why don't you set up some cameras and why don't you do this, and sort of take it for fact that your
It is that. Yeah.
start of psychosis is what's actually happening.
It's at that. It just in general, this is the sycophantic element of ChatGPT. Whatever you put it into it, which is your opinion and your version of reality, which is not necessarily impartial truth or fact, it takes as fact and it builds upon that. So exactly what you say, hey, I was walking home from work tonight and I'm absolutely convinced I'm being followed by this other guy that works in a different department, and what should I do? ChatGPT doesn't exactly say, well, maybe you need to consider that you weren't. Have you been sleeping properly? Have you been eating? It doesn't do any of that. It just goes, okay, this is what you need to do for being followed. So it's actually quite simple to interrupt that starting point, but its design is not for that, because the whole point of it having that affirming interaction with you is that you'll keep using it, because when someone affirms what you believe, you want to talk to them more and more and more and more. And that is the whole design point of ChatGPT.
You're scaring the hell out of me.
Well,
I
I
don't
think we
know that
need
I
to be
can give up
scared.
ChatGPT at this point. I'm not.
I'm not.
I'll
I
go
don't.
down with ChatGPT. I don't want
I
to live
mean,
in a world
look,
without it anymore.
I don't think it's that we need to stop using ChatGPT. It's that I think we need to stop using it for very subjective things. If you put into ChatGPT, how much flour do you need in a recipe for shortbread?
Yeah.
Fine. If you say, I'm feeling like killing myself and I don't know what to do, no, don't use ChatGPT for that. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
I think.
So do you think the onus is
Yeah.
more on the person than on ChatGPT to change anything in its sort of algorithms?
It's going to have to be, because so far OpenAI don't care, and I'm sure they will find money to just put these put these cases, these law cases to bed. If I was ChatGPT, if I was an ethical technologist, I would pause the technology today until they had the actual answers about what it's doing. We won't do that. Costs money. But I am very cynical about what they're doing. They knew from the start they would have had plenty of information about the potentiality for this. They ignored it.
Well, we'll see how that one pans out. Right, that is it for this episode of What's Trending. Thank you so much for joining us, and do let us know in the comments below what stories you'd like to see covered on the show next week. Nichi, if people want to follow you and find this Substack, where can people interact with you after this?
The infamous Substack. My Substack is called Psychotopia by Nichi Hodgson. Just Google Substack Nichi Hodgson. It'll be right up there. I'm at Nichi Hodgson on Instagram and every other social channel. So please reach out. I'd love to hear from people.
Perfect. We will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
Subscribe for more content.